Welcome to Fortune's Hiding Down Under TV. Nath, how are you doing, mate?
Fucking hot, mate.
You're up in Darwin at the moment, yeah?
I am, yeah, and it's just about 90% relative humidity, so it's probably fair to say I'm sweating more than a fucking prostitute in a confessional.
It's warm enough here today, and it's only been 30 degrees.
Yeah, right.
Although I've been fucking dying with sickness again the last 3 days, so I've been sweating like a cunt. Anyway, but yeah, nothing new for me as it has been for most of this year. I seem to be getting sick every second week. So I was just about to say I should be able to make it through the next 20 minutes, half an hour without doing too much coughing.
Didn't get through the first fucking minute.
This time yesterday, I wouldn't have even attempted it. So how long are you up in Darwin for? Just a couple of days?
I'm up. We've got a work Christmas party here on Saturday, and I'm back next week sometime. So gotta. I'll probably come back a few kilos lighter. Keep sweating it out like this.
It's not a bad thing, is it?
No,
Look, it's been a while since we've had a chat and done a show, and it's not just been because we've been absolutely fucking shit. There's been a few logistical things and people away and stuff, but I must admit, before the Newcastle game, there wasn't much to fucking talk about, really, was there? Apart from going over the same old shit.
It's been so fucking depressing, hasn't it? So
yeah, it really has. And I think that last the Everton game, like I honestly didn't want to talk to anyone about it. I just wanted to forget that it had happened, and just move on and hope that something changed. And that the last time I spoke on this show, I said that my patience had run out. I didn't see anything progressive. I didn't see anything that could possibly turn up that would make me excited or optimistic about keeping J-Lo in place. And then lo and behold, we put in a fucking performance like that, which is a great thing, isn't it? And it's very, very West Ham.
For sure. It so is, isn't it? But I think we've all been probably very critical, more of a midfield than anything else, and probably namely Paquetá and Alvarez is probably poor discipline. But the midfield battle is probably what won us the game in my opinion. I think Fabianski had a fucking brilliant game as well, must be said.
Yeah, he did.
The way that midfield rotated and covered for each other, got deep, got high, made good runs, and we just didn't give away many silly fouls in there either, did we?
It looked completely different, didn't it? Completely different. And when you consider that, that midfield, we've had Paquetá, we've had Souček in there for a lot of the games this season. Soler, not so much. But just that slight change, it made such a huge difference. And look, I get everybody was on it. Everybody had a great game, which it doesn't always happen that way.
No.
And it's pleasing that it did, because it does indicate to me that there is, the players must be buying into something that's happening, which I genuinely thought they weren't, given the previous games. But I don't think you get everybody playing that well if something hasn't changed in the dressing room.
I tell you what, though, what a fucking blessing in disguise it was for Antonio to lose his passport. Look, he's an old man, and you understand what the playing for your country and all that sort of shit. But mate, that bloke needs as much time off the game as he does playing the game to recover. Because give him 10 days, something like that, since our last game, probably even more actually. But you could see it in the way he approached the game, the effort he was putting in. Some of those. I'm sure you probably remember it was in the first half there where he put that sliding challenge in from behind. And then got fouled and went to run away with it. You haven't seen him do that in quite a while. I wouldn't have thought.
That was he was absolutely colossal. That was And look, we've all seen him do it before. We all know that he can do it. But I've not seen him do it that well for a long time.
No.
You know, and I would go as far as saying, you know, it would be difficult to pick a man of the match. I think there was probably 4 or 5 that were in contention for it. But I don't know if we'd have got the result without him playing the way that he did. So yeah, fucking someone should take his passport off him and fucking burn it.
Well, hopefully the cunt hasn't found it.
But yeah, he was brilliant, and you know there was a few players that had their best game of the season. Some of them had the best game for the club since joining. I thought Paquetá was back on it, still trying the tricks and flicks and frustrating everyone as well. But as we've said in the past, you don't mind him doing it when he's getting results as well. And I'm sure you saw some of the stats from the game. He was ranked first in fucking everything.
You're right, he was. It was good. It was good to see. Even I think it was for I'm going to say the Wan-Bissaka goal, like the intercept. I think that came from him. Like it was a bit of a 50-50 ball, but like most of the times he's been putting those challenges in, they're ending up as a foul. So you know, it was good to see him put the effort in, but try and do it in a more disciplined manner. And I mean, he still fucking rolled around a little bit, but you know, it was it was a much better performance all round, and lots more tracking back. I think I saw a stat or heard somebody say, well, there was 2 things actually that were really impressive. You know that we've won 8 out of our last 9 on a Monday night game.
I've heard that. That's incredible, isn't it?
Blew me away. It blew me away.
Yeah.
I thought that was
and apparently the one that we didn't win was a Boxing Day game. So yes, it was on a Monday, but it wasn't actually a Monday night fixture.
Yeah.
So if we play on a Monday night, we win. Is what I've taken.
Yeah.
And we've got a couple more Monday night games coming up.
Oh, do we? I haven't looked that far into the fixture, but I'm quite positive with that now.
Yeah. So what was the other thing?
Well, it was. I think that we ran more than 6 kilometres more than we have in any other game as a collective team. So it shows the level of effort that we were putting in, right?
Yeah. I don't know what the difference was. Fabianski was great, but he's been great the last few games anyway. Emerson had his best game for a while. Wan-Bissaka, who's been consistently good, was fucking sensational, but on the right and the left. Kilman was good. Dinos got away with one as usual. The midfield the midfield 3 were brilliant. I thought Soler was really good. Bowen was good. Somerville was good, and Antonio was fantastic. And you know, something's obviously gone on. Something's been said. There's either someone's made a fucking motivational speech, or it was just complete fucking fluke that everybody was on it for the day. But yeah, we looked mobile. We looked like we were running. We were passing and Andy Irving came on at the end, and for 5 minutes he looked like fucking Rodri. He looked like he looked like prime Iniesta, just passing the ball around left and right, and it was just after so many weeks of and I'm not even saying despair, just cluelessness and not knowing what was happening. It looked for once like we had a shape, we had a plan, we had everybody wanting to, right? And it's. I just hope that it's, you know, a sign of things to come. I thought J-Lo looked a lot more passionate and animated than I've seen him. And you know, Paquetá celebrated winning a throw-in near the end, like he just won the World Cup, and we've not seen that kind of shit for this season, really. So it was really good. And I've heard people say that Newcastle didn't play that well. They started well. I thought the first, until we scored, they were the much better team, and I thought, you know, it's only going to be a matter of time before Isak gets in again and he is onside and scores. I don't think we let them play their normal game. We actually beat them at football. So, I think we should take a lot of credit for it. The goal that they did score, it was offside. The penalty from Dinos, look, I thought it was a penalty, but it's very 50-50, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's such a difficult thing to really interpret, like sufficient or insufficient contact. He's got his fucking arm around his neck, right? But I mean, fucking, what's his name? The striker's name.
But was it Wilson?
Yeah, Wilson. Like, mate, he'll go down quicker than a fucking $2 hooker. So,
don't make me laugh.
Sorry. When it happened, and then they were looking at it, it's like, fuck me. Like, if he's just one of those players that always somehow manages to get a goal when he plays against West Ham. So you're almost kind of expecting it to go that way. And I didn't think the ref really gave us a lot in that game, but especially some of the ways early on in the game that Antonio was getting thrown around. I think that's what Lopetegui got a yellow card for in the end. It was like, fuck, here we go. Like, something will not go our way here. But hey, for once it did.
When Wilson came on, I think we all thought the same, that he was going to get one, but we never really looked in any. I never thought for 1 minute that we weren't going to win that game. After we went 2-0 up. So
I tend to agree with you.
And just on J-Lo's yellow cards, he's banned, isn't he, from the touchline?
Well, that's his name now. That's his second. So I
think that's his third. I'm sure that's his third.
I thought I heard him say it was his second, but maybe it was like, I think he might have got one against Everton as well. So whether or not they were saying it was his second in a row or not, I'm not so sure. Yeah.
So we've got Arsenal next, which is a ridiculous time over here. It's 3:30 a.m. kickoff on.
Yeah, because it's a Saturday night game or something.
Sunday morning.
3:30 Sunday morning.
Which is shit, but I mean, I'll probably get up and watch it. But what?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
what do you expect out of it?
I don't. I think everybody would have said that we were going to get beat at St. James's Park. It was, a lot of people, myself included, would have said it could have got embarrassing up there. But now, one decent performance and a decent win, you start to look at things slightly differently. And I'd be hopeful of nicking a point at the weekend. Arsenal are a good team.
They're definitely beatable, right? Like they've shown that they've got some weaknesses over the course of this year. But they play Forest, didn't they? On Saturday. I watched the highlights of that, and they were, without watching the whole thing, they looked pretty convincing. But I don't think, apart from our game, I don't think Forest has scored many goals at all. And most of the ones they have scored have come through Wood. So, they obviously kept him reasonably quiet. I think Odegaard's back in for his second or third game. And they're coming off a fucking big win in the Champions League as well. I think they won 5-1 or 5-2 last night. So, hopefully they're a little bit fatigued from that. And, we've got to, if we can just start the way that, we played against Newcastle, we're probably half a chance. We need the crowd to get behind us as well. But, mate, I think that for me, I reckon that game could be won or lost in the first 10 minutes. And it's probably more about how we show up than anything that Arsenal do, I think.
Yeah. You can see, those games that we've seen time and time again where we've been on a bad run or, we've just had a good result. And you can tell from the first 2 minutes whether we're going to be on it or not, whether Antonio's on it, whether we're chasing down. And that will get the crowd going. And then, you never know from there. If we're shit and we go behind after 10 minutes, it could be a shit result again. But I'm relatively optimistic. Kudus is still out, isn't he? And
he
I
is.
think Alvarez still out, or is he available?
No. So he'll be back. So he got a one game ban for his red, but because it was his second, it's an automatic.
That's right.
Second game, so he'll get that. And I was going to ask you what your thoughts would be on whether or not do you just start him, or are you more
ordinarily?
Do you keep him the same?
So ordinarily, I would have said yes. He goes straight back in. But looking at the way we've played at the weekend, who are you leaving out? Because it would have to be. Well, I was going to say it would have to be Soler, but I don't know. After that performance, it wouldn't be warranted. You can't leave Souček out, and after that performance, you wouldn't want to leave Paquetá out either. So look, I would honestly go with the same team. I'd go with it. If everyone's fit and available, I would start with exactly the same team. And Alvarez is there. If we did manage to find ourselves, either in the lead or playing for a draw with 20 minutes to go, half an hour to go, bring him in and sacrifice one of your forward players. I wouldn't have an issue with that at all.
No.
But yeah, I don't think it'd change anything.
Well, especially the way we started this conversation, it was all about the midfield, right? And that's what really worked for us with their rotation and Souček dropping in, but there's that extra defender when they were going forward. It just worked, and it worked well. So it'd be a big kick in the nuts for them, wouldn't it? If after coming away with a 2-0 away win, it's like, sorry, Soler or whoever it is, really, you're on the pine. And especially when you think about the way Alvarez lost his spot through, it was just a fucking absolutely stupid second yellow, wasn't it? So I think it's for the team side of it. I reckon he's got to earn his stripes back again. And
I agree.
What do you think about that? Would you say the same thing for Kudus? Like if he was available for this game, I don't know. I'm probably more inclined to say they both got to start on the bench, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't change anything if Kudus was available. And I was even thinking if he was available, where would you slot him into that side? You either put him out on the left and you leave Somerville out. You put him through the middle and leave Antonio out, or you put him on the right and then either Bowen up front. But no, I probably wouldn't if he was available. I wouldn't put him straight back in. And I think as long as if you're Somerville or you're Soler or you Paquetá and you've got Alvarez, you've got Kudus on the bench, you're gonna keep playing well, because as soon as you're not, you'll get hooked. And I think that's really healthy competition, and I think that's probably a much healthier approach than just saying to Somerville, right, you're back on the bench now because Kudus is back. When he's had a really, really good game, or pulling Soler from the midfield when he's had a really good game, because you're thinking, well, how the fuck am I supposed to get a run in this team if I'm playing well and getting taken out? So I agree. It does, and I don't think there's a problem at all with having 15 first choice players, and you just pick your 11 from that week on week.
So do you think he's actually earned his official title as the Spanish Moisaya now? Or?
Oh, man. Look, I don't know. My frustrations with him, as I'm sure everyone's was, is that I just couldn't see any plan, any progression. And, I had said at the start of the season, you've got to give him time. He's got to work out who fits where. And maybe he has worked it out now. You can't say that off the back of one game, but
no,
I fucking hope he has. But yeah, the Spanish Moisaya, man.
Well, he's risen from the dead again, so maybe it's like Spanish Lazarus. Who knows?
He looked rough as fuck, didn't he? He looked like he'd been out living under a fucking edge for 3 nights.
not his usual polished self with his fucking.
No,
nice
maybe
bloke.
they all went out. They all went out on the piss up in the big market in Newcastle. That's why they were just relaxed and carefree.
Yeah. No, very true. Very true. But look, I mean, it doesn't matter which way you look at it. It's nice to be talking about a win. Hopefully, it lasts more than one fucking game. And look, even Arsenal will be a very, very big test for us. But you know, if whatever the result is there, like if we can apply ourselves in the same way, I think most of the supporter base would be happy with that. And then carry it on into our next 2 games, because we've got Leicester. Is it Leicester game straight after that, or?
So I was going to say, look, the result against Arsenal is important, but if we play well and get beat, no one's really going to give a fuck. And then after that, we've got Leicester, Wolves, Bournemouth, and Brighton. So you know they're not easy games, but you would think there's 2 or 3 games there that are winnable. So, you know, let's say we play well, we don't get anything against Arsenal, or we get a lucky draw or something. We could still pick up 10 points over the next 4 games. And that's all before Christmas. So you know that changes the perspective, because we're only, I think, from where we are in 14th up to 7th. There's only 4 points.
Or something. Yeah.
So Forest, who everyone's been lauding all season, they're 4 points ahead of us. So you know there's a lot to play for. I'm just fucking happy that we had a decent performance, decent win. The players looked like they were having fun and enjoying themselves, and it just shows what we can do with that set of players we've got.
No, absolutely. Look, I think so long as they don't put in another fucking performance like we did against Chelsea, you know, everyone will be probably slightly more forgiving of a tight loss, if you want to call it something. But as you said, the next 4 after that, there has to be at least a minimum of 10 points in that. So it would be nice. Maybe not that many, but you know, two wins at the very, very least, and
I think 7 to 10 points you'd be looking at for those games. Anyway, we'll see.
Wolves and Brighton are the tough ones out of that 4.
But Wolves are turning it on now, aren't they?
Yeah.
But 2 of those games are on a Monday night, so they're fucking nailed on.
Oh, they're fucked. Yeah, it's points in the bank, isn't it?
I think that's Wolves and Bournemouth, I think. And the Leicester game's on a Tuesday night. So we haven't got a game on a Saturday till nearly Christmas.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I don't know how that's happened. I don't know what's gone on with the fixtures there. Look, to me, it's not the worst thing in the world, because the games are 6 o'clock in the morning. So you can get up and watch them. They're not in the middle of the night. But it does mean you have to watch them sober, which it isn't great either. So
no, it can be a fucking miserable day if we don't play well either, right?
Yeah. First thing you do is watch West Ham get battered, and then you got to go to work.
And you'd probably more than likely call someone a cunt in there and get fired. So, but you know, that's not so bad, is it?
No, man. Right. Well,
we'll stop making you laugh, because you sound like you're about to die.
I only coughed a couple of times and did all right then. Look, good to see you anyway, and we'll catch up
likewise, mate.
Early next week, hopefully after a decent performance against the Gooners, and hopefully we've turned the corner.
Fingers crossed, eh?
You don't melt to death up there, and I'll be thinking.
I'll try not to, mate. All right, buddy.
Take it easy. Cheers, mate.
All right. One thing less to say, I guess, eh?
Go on, you eyes.